Hello YC kids, welcome back to the session. Great, okay. So, how are my all kids? Are you all doing amazing? Yes? I hope you all are taking care of your health, right? I'm also taking care of my health. Let us begin with the session. Okay, so our today's session name is General Sentences. Yes, I'm going to tell you, actually I'm going to share a lot of information on this topic. So let us begin and let's see what we all have in today's session. Yes? Okay, so as we are talking about general sentences, what I think before we talk about this, we must know what are sentences. Yep, sentences are actually a perfect combination of words, right? I hope you all agree. Yes, we put words correctly and we frame a perfect sentence. The topic that you had covered, subject, verb, agreement, that also helps us to frame perfect sentences. So, it is important to remember that a sentence is actually divided in mainly two parts. Okay? First is naming part and another is telling part. Now you must be wondering that ma'am, so far you told us about subjects, you told us about you taught us SVA, but what is naming part and telling part? We are actually learning the same thing, but we must know this part as well. Now naming part tells us who or what the sentence is about. Okay? Now, when we talk about telling part, it actually tells something about the person, place, animal or thing that is actually connected to the naming part. Okay? It can be actually an action that naming part had taken. It can be a place name where the naming part had gone. It can be anything. Okay? Basically, telling part tells us about naming part. And what is naming part? We are mainly talking about the naming part. Let's make it easy with the help of example. Santa is visiting our town. Now, in this sentence, if I have to identify naming part and telling part, then I would divide it like this. Santa is the naming part, is visiting our town is the telling part. I'm talking about Santa in the sentence. And what am I sharing about Santa? That Santa is visiting our town. So that's why the later part of the sentence became telling part. Right? Let's look at another example and try to understand it in a better way. Christmas trees are dazzling. Now can my super kids try to guess in the comment section that what is the naming part in this sentence? Make a guess please, everybody. Christmas trees are dazzling. You have to share what is the naming part of the sentence. I want to see all of your responses. Come on everybody. Okay. The way I had already told you, person, place, animal or thing, they are actually the naming part. We are talking about them, right? So in this sentence, Christmas trees is the naming part, are dazzling is the telling part. The part of the sentence are dazzling is telling us something about the naming part, right? Let's look at another one. Children are playing. They are enjoying. Yeah, children are playing. What is the naming part? Children. And are playing is the telling part. Okay. Shining in the moonlight. What is the naming part in this sentence? Come on, make a guess everybody. What is naming part in this sentence? Shining in the moonlight. Are we talking about any person, place, animal or thing? We have mentioned moonlight, but it's not person, place or thing. This sentence is not correct. There is no naming part, naming part is not on the perfect position, telling part is not on the perfect position. What can be the better way? A snowman is shining in the moonlight. Now this sounds as a perfect sentence, right? Look at the sentence. A snowman is the naming part, and in continuation is shining in the moonlight becomes the telling part. Also remember everybody, when we write a complete sentence, we start the sentence with a capital letter. Look at this, A is capital, and we end the sentence with a full stop. These are the rules which you need to remember. Okay. We are also able to understand with the help of all these examples that always a sentence starts with naming part and continues with telling part. Right? This is what we have to learn for now. Okay. As I already shared. Another example. It is snowing today. What is the naming part in this sentence? Okay. Yes, please share your answers everybody in the comment. It will help us all to learn. It is the naming part. Is snowing today is the telling part. Wonderful everybody. Christmas has spread. Spread has Christmas happiness all over. What is the naming part? Can spread word be a naming part? No. Spread cannot be a naming part. So there is no perfect naming part in this sentence. Words are not in the correct order, which is a wrong sentence. Let's look at this one. She's also confused right now that what is naming part and what is telling part in this sentence. Let's look at this sentence. So rather than spread has Christmas happiness all over, what we can say, Christmas has spread all over happiness. Right? Now in this sentence, Christmas can be the naming part and rest can be the telling part. Okay, so we can come to this conclusion that words must be in a correct order. If we do not follow the order of naming word and naming part and then the telling part, or if we do not remember with which subject, which helping verb should be added, we can actually end up making wrong sentences. Okay, so before I tell you about some general sentences, I wanted to pass this information to all of you. That is very important when we frame sentences. Also remember, I gave you one more information. If you look at this example of it. When we look at this example, it is snowing today. The sentence started with capital I, with big I. Reason? Because this is the beginning of the sentence, and when we end the sentence we put a full stop, right? Okay, so as we have concluded with this, now we are going to continue the session with some general sentences. Now actually, when I thought of this topic, I thought even if I share 100 sentences with you all, those will be less. Right? That's why I have given you information about sentences. We are practicing so many helping verbs these days in the sessions, and I request you all to practice them. When you practice them, when you try to use them correctly in the sentence, you will start practicing some easy sentences. When you listen to me carefully. When you read something, read it carefully and try to write, try to speak in English. Okay? We will definitely get some more helpful sessions where I'll be able to teach you all how to speak perfectly in English language. But for now, I want you all to use whatever we have learned in the sessions and practice it. Okay? Coming to the topic general sentences. Now, when we talk about general sentences, there are some statements that we make around ourselves. Okay? We actually give the statement, give a we actually explain the state of the situation. Okay, when I'm just sharing that, okay, this is. And remember that subject plus verb is the perfect combination. If you put anything else, that can be only helping verb. Other than that, we cannot put any other word between them, right? Now, when we are talking about statement, when we are talking about combination of subject and verb, we have an example. The cat jumps on the box. This is a statement. Keep looking at the images, keep looking at the illustration that I'm showing, and okay, we'll practice that too. I love reading. Okay, look at that girl. She has so many books around her. She's even reading a book. So by looking at this image, we can say that she likes reading, right? We can also explain what is happening in the present. She is reading a book, right? We can use a sentence by using has or have also. She has a blue book. See what I'm doing right now? I'm only using the topics which I taught you in recent classes, and I'm able to frame sentences. Let's look at another example. Kids are cleaning the room. What is happening? They are cleaning the room. How easy it is. We know what is room. We know they are kids. We tried to explain the situation by saying kids. We know with kids we will use are. Kids are. With clean we will put ing because we are talking about something that is happening right now. So kids are cleaning the room. Easy, right? That's how you all have to try. So I request you all to try framing some sentences at home today and share the photo of that work with me on YC feed or on any other social platform. But I really want all of your responses actively. Okay, I'll wait for your sentences today. Yes? Great. Look at this. Okay, now it's your turn, everybody. Look at this image and try to frame sentences based on what we have already learned. Yeah. What do you think? What sentences we can make? We can say that there are 3 kids. Right? There are 3 kids. We can also say that kids are looking at the globe. That is a globe, right? So they are looking at the globe. We can frame this sentence. We can say that they love to study history. They are enjoying the subject, SST, history. Nice? Okay, let's look at another one. Let's look at the girl. Okay, by looking at the image, I can make a sentence in my head. It is her first day in the office. I can say that she is standing. Can you try a sentence in the comment, everybody? I want everybody to try, and please try to frame a sentence on this image. Come on, everyone. Everybody must try. We know how to use is/am/are. We know how to use is/am/are plus ing. We know how to use has/have. So I want everybody to make a try. Give it a try. Frame a sentence based on the image. You can talk about computer which is there on the table, that there is a computer on the table, right? So we have to practice it in this way. She is confused. Okay. So that's all for today's session. I hope we have understood how to frame a sentence. We understood what is naming part and telling part of a sentence. We also got to know that how important it is to place them in a correct order, right? Later on, I told you that if I share any number of sentences will be less for you all. Reason, I want you all to practice what we are learning so far, whatever you are learning in your classes. Practice it in the classes, out of the classes, like with your friends, with your family members. Try to use the language, okay? And in every class I share tip of the day, word of the day with you all. I hope you all use that and you remember that. You tell that to your friends, right?